As long as I can remember, there were only two ways to go. One was along the old school highway, the other was the wrong road. And some things come clearer as I fill another page. The right to be yourself and happy were gifts that God gave. Let us dance for love while we search for the truth. May God bless us, everyone, in the folly of our youth. May we find our way to be our own, and that there's no angry Father waiting when we get home. Best I can determine, all the shame, guilt, and brimstone were dreamed up by an ancient council. We were afraid our dreams would roam, but before I come full circle and the old school is then mine, I'd like a chance to leave the children a God that is love and kind. Let us dance for love while we search for the truth. May God bless us, everyone, in the folly of our youth. May we find our way to be our own, and that there's no angry Father waiting when we get home. Let us dance for love while we search for the truth. May God bless us, everyone, in the folly of our youth. May we find our way to be our own, and that there's no angry Father waiting when we get home.
Clouds are swift, rocks are ancient, mountains are high, oceans gray, winds are restless, trees are patient. You, my child, are away. Waves are crashing, rivers churning, planets twirling, stars ablaze. Storms are raging, atoms whirling, and you, my child, are away. To perceive these wondrous things, to count the beats of a blackbird's wings, to tell a story and dance and say. All the splendors of creation, very happy that you came, 'cause they needed someone to see them, and you, my child, are away. To perceive these wondrous things, to count the beats of a blackbird's wings, to tell a story dance and sing. Seeds are hopeful, dewdrops fleeting, oak trees crooked, redwoods stray, and they are not known to the sleeping, but you, my child, are awake. You, my child, are awake. You, my child.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to All Souls. My name is Bennett Upton, and I've been a member here at All Souls UU for 14 years, a father for 27 years, and alive for almost 50. Not sure what I've done with all that time, but I hope it was worth it. Our minister is the Reverend Barbara Gerald, who is currently on her summer vacation and study leave. In this congregation, we intentionally endeavor to embrace that broad spectrum of expression that is humankind. We come seeking to grow in character, to walk in integrity, with justice at heart, with reverence for life and compassion for all. Whoever you are, whatever your age, ability, economic status, or rejection thereof, race, origin, orientation, background, gender, identity, or history, we welcome you and are pleased you have chosen to be with us here today. In light of this diversity, we strive to honor and treat respectfully those with differing views and paths. This is our challenge, and this is our covenant. Visitors are welcome at all of our activities and events. If you missed the announcement slides before the service, you can see them again. Well, they're actually not running in the foyer today. That's kind of, sorry, you can see them on, you can check with us. Ask Kelly. She knows everything that is going on. And then who Kelly is, our board person of the day, Kelly Coffey. And she's going to tell you a little bit more about what all is going on with some announcements.
Good morning. Hope y'all's weekend's going good so far. There was no religious education for adults today, and there will not be any next Sunday either. The Thursday, June 26th at 5, the Highland Center is having their ribbon cutting for the Community Lighthouse. So if you're able to make that, that would be awesome. Kate Nance is our Volunteer of the Month. She's a new member, but she's been helping for as long as I can, like past year at least. She's a regular at the Building and Grounds. She helped with Field Day and Pride in the Park, and she's always coming to help whenever she can. So we're very thankful for her. The giveaway of the plate this month is Out North LA Film Festival. It's in September, but it's a LGBTQ film festival. So whatever is not donated or designated for your pledge will go to give away the plate. And what else? Oh, this Friday is game night. It is 7 to 10 in the social hall. We play games, mostly dominoes because we all love that. Snacks and all that stuff. So it's just a good time to hang out and visit with everybody and get to know each other a little bit more. So the more the merrier. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Kelly. Yes. More information is available in our foyer at the visitor table for most any of our members, and by filling out one of the little blue cards that's in the pew back in front of you. Nobody ever fills those things out. I'm not even sure what we would do if you tried. Maybe panic. I'm not sure. Hijinks. I don't know. There's only one way to find out. It's to fill one out. So Then you can indicate if you would like to receive our email newsletter or perhaps be contacted by our staff, or even make an appointment with a minister. You can place the cards in the offering basket on your way out of the service, along with any donations you would care to make. There are even little envelopes for the donations. If you fold one into a little crane and you place it in the basket, that counts as a donation. We will treasure it. If you find none of the little pencils without an eraser, then that's our way of encouraging you to talk to your neighbor. Also, we're running short on those little pencils. But at this time, please turn off or silence your electronic devices. And relax, take a few deep breaths, and enjoy the service. We have no children today. So, unless anyone would like to volunteer to light the chalice, I'll go ahead and take care of that. But I'll lead the chalice lighting today, which is something I've been meaning to do anyway, right? So, we light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. And thanks, I was watching you the whole time, yes. I am incapable of remembering anything when I am actually looking at people. That's just something that happens with my brain. This is a selection from Deanna Vandiver. Throughout time, our Unitarian Universalist faith tradition has held a thread of clarity. How we relate to each other creates the conditions of hell or heaven here on earth. We may not know or agree about what lies beyond this life, but it's our conviction that our actions and our inactions have consequences for the web of all existence. While fascinating and mysterious, we do not place our hopes for salvation in what happens after death. We find our salvation here on earth, showing up for each other with mercy, respect, and compassion. How are we relating to our neighbors, friends? As a people of faith, we are called to a love that is bold, to love beyond our skill, and through our fear with courage and compassion. As a faithful collective, we are called to offer sanctuary, refuge, and comfort to everyone afflicted by the systems of oppression in this world. As faithful individuals, we are called to relationships of care and accountability. It makes a difference in the quality of this world when people with access to privilege and power give voice to a vision of collective liberation and name the obstacles within and without that limit us. Can we choose to live courageously, a people of faith, a people so bold? Can we faithfully challenge evil in the world and the sins of society that have become internalized within our beings? Our faith does not require that we be unafraid, only that we do not lead with fear or make our decisions from a place of fear. Our presence matters. How we relate to each other creates the conditions of hell or heaven here on earth. May we remember and affirm that we are all in this together, friends. We are all in this together. Amen. If you would please rise with me as you are comfortable or able to say the unison affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Now, Bob.
And Trinity's going to help too. Little intro here.
It's not.
No cats were killed in that.
It might have. Yes, so I did want to just kind of briefly mention that this is the Father's Day service. Last week was the Juneteenth service. They come at basically the same time. They're very close to each other, so we just had to kind of pick. And I wasn't ready to do this service until this week. So anyway, that's why we're doing Father's Day this weekend, which is, of course, today is Father's Day. But Juneteenth is also important. Dad jokes. Who loves them? Who thinks they're funny? I do. It's almost a shame that there are no children in the room today because generally they do not. I'm a dad. I think dad jokes are really not for anyone but dads. I mean, obviously moms too, because there's not much of a line between dad jokes and mom jokes, if we're being honest. So, yeah, anyway, I'm sorry for the kids who maybe they're watching online, but this service, it probably won't be as funny for you. When I look up dad jokes these days, I find online there's a lot of AI slop out there, and what it shows is that dad jokes are puns, and just really bad ones. And that's okay, and that's a lot of what we identify with as being dad jokes. They're kind of dumb, usually a pun, free of controversial content. I submit that that is a poor example of a dad joke, that the best dad jokes are either hidden wisdom or correction of a behavior. It's in that vein that I will submit to literary criticism, dad jokes. And I'd also like to get yours, so start thinking of something for the group while I dive into a few of my own. I asked my kids, and they gave me things that weren't really jokes exactly. They weren't exactly funny to them. Like anytime I was asked about any amount of money that was inappropriate, like the value of a gift, so that that child can compare it to his siblings and the value of their gifts, it was $3.80. Which sounds kind of flippant, but it avoids direct confrontation while refusing compromise. Engaging directly is exhausting for me, and trying to explain the morality behind, like, why, no, I'm not going to tell you how much your present was worth. I could, but that would be like, I don't know, a sermon. I'm not, no. But indirectly refusing to answer is exhausting for them, as they have to try and deduce it. And so I'm not a fan of arguing with kids. Actually, I learned this one in particular from my mom, so it's originally a mom joke, but maybe she got it from her dad, I don't know. But there's also, and it always has to come up with a setup, right? What time is it? It's time for you to get a watch. I can't tell you how many times I got this question, usually while I'm driving, when there's a clock on the dashboard. I'm hungry. Oh, hi, hungry. I'm Dad. But please ask for what you want so I don't have to drag it out of you. Your question is lazy and puts the onus on the parents. Rephrase it so you have an active role in the process. Claim your agency. The answer will probably be, there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what you can have. We have no chicken nuggets. But are we there yet? Yes, we are. You could keep track of the mile marker signs and even get an atlas, but if you can't be bothered, then neither can I. How much longer? 2, maybe 3 days? But Dad, I'm not a but dad. I'm a good dad, and I've been trying very hard lately. Really, all of these jokes are jokes that require a consistent setup. So the frequency that I used them was only surprising in the number of times the exact same setup was provided. Do my dad jokes irritate you? Well, stop setting me up, please. Susan Caldwell gave me a dad joke that is great, and this was actually, I believe, from her father-in-law, Steve Caldwell's dad, who is also a master of dad jokes. Who's probably watching this right now and critiquing and saying, well, I've got some better ones, actually. And he does. He does. He's actually he's quite right about that. But anytime somebody ever said, like, I don't like that person, they're abrasive, or they're mean, or whatever, he would reply, oh, well, they think very highly of you. Yeah, that's downright devious. And while I'm at it, I'm going to throw in a kid joke that I think is actually really good, although I think it doesn't get the respect that it deserves. It does the same kind of thing, but a little more succinctly, and I just think that it's really underrated. Your face is underrated. Like, you see how that doesn't work? It returns any criticism immediately back to the sender, but only criticism. It's so reliable you can use it as a test of what is a criticism. Those shoes are hideous. Your face is hideous. Yes, that's criticism. That works. That checks. It's really quite brutalist. Your face is brutalist. Thank you, I think. I'm not even sure what that means, but I'm not an architect. I don't know what that means, really. So you don't actually need to know what the word means. You admit nothing. Simply return to sender, postage due. Your mom jokes work in a similar way. Not mom jokes, but your mom jokes. But maybe not as well with your siblings. I've seen that one happen a lot. So anyway, with that, who has an example of a dad joke that they'd like to share? Crickets? We can have crickets for a minute. That's okay. You guys can think about it. Or if at any point in the service later on you think of one and it's a really good one, just like blurt it out. That'll be fun. Maybe not. But okay. So anyway, well, I'm out of dad jokes. Oh, Joy's got one.
What's a dad that is modestly well?
What is a dad that is modestly well? I don't know.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah, I dig it. Okay, well, at this point, I'm supposed to sing the children out to their classes. That's not going to happen today, unless anybody here would like to go to We'll skip that part. And we'll go straight into the meditation. This is a Father's Day prayer by Kirk D. Lodeman Copeland. Let us praise those fathers who have striven to balance the demands of work, marriage, and children with an honest awareness of both joy and sacrifice. Let us praise those fathers who, lacking a good model for a father, have worked to become a good father. Let us praise those fathers who, by their own account, were not always there for their children, but who continue to offer those children, now grown, their love and support. Let us pray for those fathers who have been wounded by the neglect and hostility of their children. Let us praise those fathers who, despite divorce, have remained in their children's lives. Let us praise those fathers whose children are adopted and whose love and support has offered healing. Let us praise those fathers who, as stepfathers, freely choose the obligation of fatherhood and earned their stepchildren's love and respect. Let us praise those fathers who have lost a child to death and continue to hold the child in their heart. Let us praise those men who have no children but cherish the next generation as if they were their own. Let us praise those men who have fathered us in their role as mentors and guides. Let us praise those men who are about to become fathers. May they openly delight in their children. And let us praise those fathers who have died but live on in our memory and whose love continues to nurture us.
mountains and a raging river, saddled up by the piñon fire. Drove out to the edge of the pueblo, bought a drum from a man who cried, and the children's shoes on the ceiling, and the way that you hold my hand. And I yelled and I didn't know the reason, but I knew that you'd understand. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. I hope our time will never go, I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Will we go like the woolly mammoth or the deer dodo? Gone like the batchman's warbler, disappeared like the melting snow. Little Mary on a fruit bats, or the bright old white-eyed bird? Or will we keep on running like the sound of the buffalo herd? That sky-red hawk recorded out on his cousin's farm up north in Minnesota. He tied the recorder in the yard up to a gate post waiting, slept out in a tent to hear the rumble of a big stampede that one day magically appeared. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. I hope our time will never go, I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. And I want us to be like that, running wild and running free. This year tried to kill us, baby. Well, good luck trying, you can't catch me. And I'll jump off this cliff with you, if that means we will survive. 'Cause we drove out to the desert just to leave the past behind. And our footsteps fall in shadows, treading light down the canyon trail. And the sun is barely rising, and the stars like a wedding veil. And I cannot lie to you, 'cause you can read my mind. So I think I'll try with you. Some things just take more time. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, some things take time. And I hope our time will never go, I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo. Some things take time, I know they do. Some things take time, I know they do. And I hope our time will never go, I hope our time will never go. 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo, 2 weeks just to catch the buffalo.
Okay, so before I really begin, I want to say that I've got 3 kids and they're great. I've really enjoyed my relationship with them. 10 out of 10, recommend, you know. This is not really about them. Maybe some other time I'll gush over my kids. But our world only works as well as it does because of the vast amounts of unpaid labor that is done every day by people whose value is not acknowledged. This is a cornerstone of oppression, and yet also shows a path, I believe, to liberation, when we identify the work that is the most exploited. I would normally only speak of this in relation to the work of women, since it is traditionally their work that goes unpaid. But it certainly isn't limited to women. We live with a system that acknowledges the value of many things and keeps a vast and careful ledger to identify the value of things, large and small, trivial and consequential. Yet some things are quite definitely missing. As I read through the words from the meditation, there is quite a list there, since there's literally nothing on it that you'll get paid for. even though the lack of it has dire consequences for the lives of normal people, much more so than many of the things that people spend lavishly on, but yet we assign no value at all to family life. It's also called reproductive labor, since it is the labor that reproduces the labor force. It is the foundation of all things that have value, but yet it is given no value, since that would require that we pay for it. Instead, in our culture today, reproductive labor becomes a thing that we have no choice in, other than to perform it. It becomes a duty, a responsibility, even a penance for indulging in sins of the flesh. The duty ultimately belongs to the mother of the child, though some responsibility is assigned to the father when known. The lack of choice robs it of its joy and taints the relationship. How many times have you heard of children feeling hurt when they found out that they weren't planned? I'm personally a much bigger believer in lack of planning in the spawning process, but this is parenthood. But it's not just parenthood, it's all of the stages of our lives when we need care. It's the daily laundry and carrying water. It's the labor of birth and of clean linens for our deathbed. It's the learning of children in schools and executing the last will and testament for our family members when they've passed. These are the other sides of parenthood. They are our parents that we are now responsible for when they grow old, and it is the same relationship that binds us. At its core, my text is way too dense on here for me to actually read properly. At its core, parenthood is a construction of relationships. It is a construct that was formed before we were even human, that we share with many of our relatives, just like we share eyeballs and hip bones. We also have inherited from these remote ancestors a drive to care for the young and the old. Our whole family structure revolves around it, but we find that our relationships are difficult and regularly strained. Our marriages frequently do not work, with messy divorces and detailed custody and property arrangements. If air travel had a 50% success rate like marriage, you would not fly ever. But you put faith in a marriage that has that level of success. And our children's success in life depends on how well that marriage works to provide a stable home with two caring parents, and how often does even that ideal outcome actually happen? Is it enough for you to fly that jet? Like Boeing wouldn't fly that jet. I submit that at a minimum, we need to expand our definition of a family to include more than two parents, so that we can get a number better than 50%. We also need to place value on these relationships in the same way that we value our corporate work. Since that's a lot, we might need to reduce the value we place on corporate work. Okay, so in the unlikely event that you've heard me talk on a previous Father's Day, which I think I have a couple of times, I've been a little salty. I've endeavored to desalinate this sermon. I'm currently getting involved in getting a conservatorship on my father as he declines into Alzheimer's. And to say that he's fighting the conservatorship would overstate his ability to maintain a coherent conversation, but he has to clearly agree to a conservatorship, which he is incapable of doing in his state of decline. But being in this intermediate stage of parenting has got me thinking. For one, parenthood is not gendered, nor is it a singular experience that everyone shares. We experience it in different ways throughout our lives and with different people. Hopefully you have the joy that I do of experiencing it with siblings. As we have worked through the details of the daily drama of what the housekeeper found him doing this week, such as trying to cook over the stove on a plate, or he put like fabric softener in all of the hand soap, which didn't work. It took a little while to figure that one out, that like the hand soap isn't bubbly, Dad. Why is the hand soap not bubbly? It was just a little weird. But as we've gone through all of these things, we've gotten a lot closer. I don't have to tell them what my dad is like. They were there. But I'll tell you, maybe just briefly, that he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. And that's the reason why I put little stock in being nice. He regularly jokes about genocide, since it doesn't affect him at all. He was a salesman that worked with the fervor of a gambler, always looking for that next commission check. That obliterated the rest of his life. When I had the chance to connect with him as a teen and as an adult, he was emotionally childlike, prone to fits of rage and sulking that were toddler-like. He was consumed by his marriages and lost his own personality completely inside of them. He handled his first divorce very badly, though by the end of his second, he seems to have declined too much to have had an adult experience of it. He is a lot like me. The juxtaposition of caring for my father while still being a father is intense. I'm really quite glad that my kids are grown up during this phase of my life, because handling my parents and my children, like, that would be tough. But as it is, my kids are all grown up, and I'm an empty nester. So having that space with my kids so that, you know, I'm not, if I were still handing out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, it would be tough. But what this has really taught me is that parenthood is cyclical, but it's more like a spiral that never actually repeats, but it feels really similar. All of the details feel a lot like the old things. We want better parents. We lament the failures and celebrate the successes of the parents in our lives. But how can we change the status quo? How can we actually make a difference in the world so our children don't have to go through what we went through? I've heard it said that we need to pay women for housework. And that's okay. I mean, I'm open to these kinds of ideas. And certainly, if we want better relationships with the women in our lives, we need to do the dishes more often. But what if we turned that on its head and we increased the number of relationships that we maintain to reduce the importance of our relationships with our corporate partners? Parenthood is about forging these relationships on a daily basis through the hard work of laundry, dishes, cooking, first aid, setting of boundaries. But we live in a system that does its best to give as little as possible to our families and take responsibility for the minimum. I submit that when we shirk, we should shirk our corporate work. We expand our networks to include more of the people that we need to help us in our lives. We must break through the forced isolation of our single-family detached housing, shatter the cubicle, and build pathways towards other parents. Deliberately incorporate siblings into our lives when possible. When these relationships do not exist, then we should find them in chosen family. What I am really advocating here for is pro-social behaviors, which, when we do this on a massive scale, can radically change the way that we live. We have a lot of barriers, like our homes, jobs, our whole culture that values everything that isn't important and shirks the most valuable things that we have. I suggest it is revolutionary to build our relationships with each other. To make my point clearly, I think we don't need better fathers and mothers, but rather just more parents, so that we're not so tied to the luck of the draw. We only need to begin by caring more for the people in our lives. And with that, I'm going to summon Bob, who's going to sing Gone, Gonna Rise Again. If you would please, rise in body or spirit.
One of the great unsung songwriters, unappreciated songwriters. There's a little chorus at the end of some of the lines. And that chorus is gone, gonna rise again, gone, gonna rise again. So I'd encourage you to sing that part. I remember the mountainside, gonna rise again. I was too young to understand the way he felt about the land, but I can read his history in his hand, gonna rise again. It's corn in the crib and apples in the barn, gonna rise again. Ham in the cup of cotton in the gin, gonna rise again. Cows in the barn and hogs in the lot, you know he never had a lot. It's very difficult to do that, but he worked like the devil for the living that he got, gonna rise again. Thank you, Trinity. These apple trees on the mountainside, gonna rise again. He planted the seeds just before he died, gonna rise again. I guess he knew that he'd never see the rope hanging from the tree, but he planted the seeds for his children and me, gonna rise again. High on the ridge above the farm, gonna rise again. I think of my people that have gone on, gonna rise again. Like a tree that grows in the mountain ground, storms come to cut them down, but the new one springs from the earth doesn't count, gonna rise again. Gonna rise again. Gonna rise again. Trinity learned that one time through. She is a quick study.
If you would like to join the tech team, so we can have somebody to do sound and work on music, then just let me know, or talk to Kelly, or Tina, or any of us that work on the tech team. And there's the microphone. Thank you, Trinity. This benediction was written by Emily Richards. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction, until we are all changed, transformed, and transforming together, becoming our better selves. Thank you.
It's not the energy reeling, nor the lines in your face, nor the clouds on the ceiling, nor the clouds in space. It's not the phone on the table, nor the bed in the earth, nor the bed in the stable. shade.